I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child should lead them.
Okay, here we are.
Speaking of children.
Love them.
You got children that are not children, but act like they're children. You know I'm talking to you. If you think I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you. It's a lying ass. What did he say? What did he say to Ben Shapiro? How dare you? How dare you?
I say, how dare you?
How dare you?
When he said, I say.
How dare you?
Okay, next on the list here is Mare Babe, can you just read this?
It looks like Mare CognItum.
And just read the ending there.
Entropic Hallucinations.
Yep. There we go.
Okay.
That's what that's all about.
This is DJ'd by the Full English Breakfast. Keep going. All right. Read, dear listener.
This is a one-man black metal project from Portland, Oregon, who plays complex, majestic, and atmospheric black metal, which has a cosmic focus. This is taken from the 2014 album Phobos.
Phobos.
We just read this, babe.
Phobos Monolith.
Void Hanger Records.
On Void. See, that's the other thing about English Breakfast. She's a metal historian.
I know.
Like,
yep.
And Elijah Maxwell says, Mare is incredible. Okay, Mare is incredible. Indeed. Okay, guys, let's check it out now. This is Mare. What did we say it was? Mare.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's right here.
CognItum.
Yeah,
Mare CognItum in Entropic Hallucinations. Let's go.
Here we go.
Chaos.
Oh, I like that picture.
Got some atmosphere. First it was just noise. Now we got some atmosphere.
I like the intensity of it.
Yeah, my problem is it's programmed drumming. It's not a real drummer. So it's like there's a big debate because some people help Drake with his writing, and it's like, is Drake really a rapper if people help him write his rhymes? Mm-hmm. I don't know, because like, for example, like, you know, for the practice clips that we play, like, it's just Peter transposing a lot of the you know, the info. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a hard time like giving props for that. Like, yeah, it's on point, but
it's programmed. Yeah, right. Whoops. Yeah.
Like, I do think like you still have to. Like, you hear stuff in your head, like, especially like when you play. You know, I just did like that freestyle thing that I had come up with at 10 minutes that I put up on Instagram or whatever. Mm-hmm. You hear stuff in your head, like you're, you know, it goes with the beat.
Yeah.
So you still have to create the platform for the drums to work around, and you still have to have the idea. So you can't say it's all machine, because you can give anybody like, you give me a machine, I'm not gonna come up with something like that. You see what I'm saying? So you still have to give them their props for it. It's just kind of, for me, it's like, I don't know, man. Like, because if I saw Homo sapien doing that shit live, I would lose my mind, like that drumming. And I believe there are drummers that can.
That it was programmed.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know. Like, I can't give it like, I can't be like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure.
No, I agree. I do think that you have to kind of add in that it's the one person doing all of it. So
which she did, of course. Tina's always going to be stand up, you know, with shit. But
yeah,
go ahead.
There's going to be a certain level of like, you did it all yourself, and you didn't have anybody to work with or to bounce ideas off. Like, it was you know. So that's pretty cool. But at the same time, for me, the vocals, like, I couldn't really hear them. And I know that, like, this style of music, you don't generally hear it, but like the other ones, I was able to hear. I couldn't even follow any of it.
You had to follow really, really, really close, and like the jump off point, definitely to Tina's point, it was a bit different from the previous song. The jump off point, if you could get it, the cadence to the song, and what that's the thing, is like everything else I thought was like on point, like lyrics. The lyrics are not machine generated. The cadence that he used, the rhythm isn't machine generated. It's, I would say it's machine translated. He has a sound in his head. He's got a sound of what he wants to hear, and so he translates that onto the machine. And I guess at some level you could say that just like you have to master an instrument, it probably takes the same amount of time to master the machine as an instrument in itself.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
And I'll say, okay, I'll give you that, but it's still not the same as doing the drumming to me, like from a human being.
Oh, I totally agree. And
I think there are also certain limitations to what human beings can do that force a certain kind of creativity. So like if you're running a crazy, you know, blast beat for 8 minutes, which they weren't, but you see what I'm saying? Like, it's humanly impossible. So because of that, you have to slow down and do other things to give yourself rest to get back into it, which, you know, I think actually has creative power for an art. Like, it makes things a lot more variegated.
Oh, for sure.
So I'll give him that. Like, it's really interesting because I'm really torn about this, but I think that I still think you have to give him credit. Like, there's a guy that we listened to, like Sub something. I forgot what it was.
Sub-Zero.
No. It's Sub something. But anyway, the guy's also a one-man band. You know what I'm saying? But I think the advantage. Is that the
Sublime, something like that?
No, it's not Sublime. It's Sub something. But anyway, the advantage I think that he has is that because the vocals are so clear. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the vocals are so clear and legible, then you end up not having to invest so much in the music, and you can look at what he's saying and all the rest of it, and it's kind of like 50-50. Whereas this one, because the lyrics are so indecipherable, then you lean back on the music to carry you, which it does. But then when you're grading it, it's like, well, yeah, but you had a machine. But go ahead. What were you thinking?
Yeah. Jeez. It's a tough one because I agree with you. Like, I mean, if it's a machine doing it, it's not actually people, and you can just program it. I don't know how difficult that is to do. Yeah, that kind of throws me off a little bit because I liked the way that it was aggressive, but I agree if it's not done physically and it's something that you program in, it doesn't have the same feel to it. And like I said, I was not a fan of, like, I guess the way that I feel, like what you just said kind of, is that if everything's going to kind of be programmed and it's going to go that way, like put your vocal style in there real good. Because that's the one thing that you have that's actually coming from a person. Is all the stuff programmed, or does he play some instruments?
I don't know. I'm sure he plays a guitar. He had to have. I don't know, though, because that's a certain kind of genre within black metal. So I think, and obviously this guy's got a fan base, so what I think, he's not doing the songs for us. You know what I'm saying? He's not doing the songs to be graded by us. He's doing the song for him and his own fans, and I'm sure they know how to catch the cadence and figure out what he's saying. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, so I'm not sure that he'd have to do that. Lyrically, though, it's interesting. He says, bear witness to the actual chaos echoing within your once sacred halls, heat embracing an endless horizon, light a curse in ailing landscapes, not unlike a bleeding wound, a festered scab, wrought with disease. Ew. Sky agape, miasmic windows whispered through obscure dimensions, a landscape withering the clutch of an arthritic pale grass, tremorous hands grasping for once held brilliant suns of endless luster. See, I was saying this is a very... He's taking a scenic route to describe what to me is like a black hole event, you know, like a supernova. Mm-hmm. You know, when these stars collapse in each other, create this giant vacuum. It looks like that's what he's talking about. Carrying a blinding plague to unleash upon barren earth, futility and endless struggle driven by unconscious reason. That right there.
Oh, right here. An incredible weight such as this is a planet drifting into empty space.
Devoid of kindling and ash, a plague is never born. Yeah, that's it looks like a supernova, and then you're getting sucked into a black hole. Scroll up for a second, though. That line is insane. Futility and endless struggle driven by unconscious reason. Which, to me, is... When I hear... And I'm not picking on atheists, I promise. But when I hear people... You know, when I say, okay, explain this to me. And they go, well, yeah. You're like, for example, we were talking about chaga and how chaga has to reprogram itself because it's an actual parasite from the birch tree, and so the birch tree is fighting it, and then the chaga has to reprogram itself to adapt to what it's fighting, and that's where you get the term adaptogen from, and it's completely rational. It makes so much sense, and it's like nobody programmed that, though. Nobody programmed that system. That just happens. But they say things like randomly, which that's impossible. That's not randomness. That's logic.
Right.
I don't want you to eat me up. You're a parasite. I want to fight you. Well, yeah, I know you want to fight me, and so now you're putting this thing out there to destroy me. But the thing is, I want to live, so I'm going to adapt to that so that I can continue to live off you. But then I'm going to adapt to your adaptation. That's not random.
Right.
That's reason. Right. That's logic. That's rationality. That is a system. And so you have to, at best, call it unconscious reason, because at this point, saying it's random or whatever makes absolutely no sense.
That's so interesting. I didn't even pick up on that. Driven by unconscious reason.
The problem is that the only beings that can reason are conscious beings. So you're still left with an irreconcilable contradiction. I just thought, I'm not complaining. I just think it's brilliant.
I'm not complaining.
It's brilliant. It's a brilliant way of describing the universe that these people claim they live in. No. No. The chaga and the birch thing make a lot of sense. Your cell systems make a lot of sense. And I understand. Now you're seeing some reason behind it, but it's not unconscious, my brother. Keep going.
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't have science. We couldn't have the study of any of the, you know, the studies that we've done of the human body. We couldn't have that stuff if there wasn't order to it.
Yeah, if you assumed randomness in the scientific endeavor itself, there'd be no motivation for it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the assumption of order.
Right.
and the confinement to logic and reason. See, the scientific method demonstrates that we believe that the universe is confined to reason and logic. Well, you can't have that if your base premise is true. So it's almost a self-stultifying thing. And incredible rates. So I think he's talking about a supernova and then the commensurate black hole that follows and all the rest of it. And he's describing it in amazing, not just detail, but just he's painting a picture for you that's pretty ridiculous. And I probably would have paid more attention in 7th grade, Southwest Junior High School in Melbourne, Florida, I think.
You probably would have paid more attention.
Our science teacher, I forgot what his name was. It was something Buckner, I think, because he would always tell us that he was related to Bill Buckner. He's this guy in the Boston Red Sox, and I guess, you know, there was a routine ground ball, and he missed it, and it cost him the world championship or whatever. And so he would always give us that little lecture. He was such a nice guy. He always smiled. But because he was so nice and we were 7th graders, we just ignored him and disrespected him. And one day he was like, like it wasn't even English what he was saying.
Seriously?
Yeah. And he's like,
it.
you know what we're going to do for the rest of the class? And I was like, shit. Remember that Denise girl I was telling you about, Denise Peralta? Shout out to Denise Peralta. Thank you so much for rejecting me and going for Scott, the Dallas Cowboys fan, because you, dear Denise, no. But anyway, shout out to Denise. She gets one of those. And so I was talking to Shorty, and he was like, oh, he's like, you know what we're gonna do for the rest of the class? And I was like, damn, bro. I was like, this guy. He's like, open your books to page whatever. And it was on, you know, supernovas, whatever it was. He's like, I tried to talk to you about it, but nobody feels like this is interesting. So what we're going to do for the next 28 minutes is we're going to just write, and everybody's going to be quiet. And if you're not quiet, it's an ISS immediately. And ISS is an in-school suspension. Like, he lost it, bro. He lost it. So all of us were like, shit, man, this fucking guy, he's probably going to kill us all, bro. You better shut the fuck up and just write this shit, boy. We didn't feel sorry for him.
I do, because
when we got out of class,
he was
like, yo,
trying.
what's wrong with Mr. B, bro? He's losing his mind, bro. And shout out to my buddy Jason. Jason's on the baseball team with us. Jason was like, yeah, his girl was probably, you know... He was talking all tough, but none of us wanted any smoke with Mr. B. So we all just sat there. It was the quietest I've ever seen in a room for that period of time in my life. Not just school, in my life.
I do. I feel bad for him.
But
because he was trying to make it interesting for you guys.
Yeah, I don't really. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really remember him teaching it. I just never listened to it. I never listened to the homie, not once, except for that time. I listened to him then. His eyes got really crazy. He gets very, very angry. He's very, very disturbed. He was very disturbed. No, he was. He was truly disturbed. He was really upset.
I believe it.
Shout out to him. I'm very sorry, bro. If you're still alive, my bad. Yeah. But if I would have had this, like, lyrically, like, I'd have been a lot more engaged. You know what I'm saying? I'd have been a lot more engaged. But you made it so boring, bro. I'm sorry. This is like poetry, man.
Yeah. Oh God.
I don't know.
You would be such a great teacher.
See, that's the thing about the Bible. When God, you know, Genesis 1 again is another poetry. Like, you know, look.
I know, yeah.
It's not this. It's not this. What, you know, like Aaron Rice. He's like, how come he didn't tell us about the scientific method? Yeah, in the beginning there was a scientific. Come on, man.
There's bigger issues at hand.
Ain't nobody trying to hear that, bro. We're trying to hear stuff like this, man. Sorry, that's how I am. I'm sorry. This song gets a 8.8 for me.
This is 7.8 for me.
Shout out to Stephen A. I mean, this man, you should have been gone a long time ago, my brother. Thank you for sticking with us, so we love you. What did you say it was? What'd you give it?
I think I give it a 7.9.
7.9. There you are, dear listener. Another one in the books. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.